The 500 is a legal thriller that I've seen compared to John Grisham's The Firm, both favorably and unfavorably. While I can see similarities to Grisham's writing, Quirk manages to break away enough to create his own distinctive style. What starts as a legal thriller turns into an action thriller, with plenty of twists to keep most readers interested. The 500 follows Mike Ford, a con man turned Harvard grad turned fixer. At the start of the book, his life is a mess. His dad is a criminal, his mother is dead, and he's several $100,000 in debt. However, the Davies Group, the name of the consulting firm that hires him, turned his life around, wiped away his debt, gave him a spacious apartment, and Ford even met an incredible woman at work. Life is good for him. In fact, it's suspiciously good. So much so that Ford starts digging and discovers a skeleton in the company's closet. One which leads to dozens of others. And those closets are connected to the 500 most influential people inside the DC Beltway, the people who really run the country. How bad are those skeletons, and what's Ford going to do when he discovers the truth? Mike Ford came off as a very enjoyable protagonist. He felt like someone who got wrapped up by the pressures of life when he became a criminal. He wasn't a bad person, he was just trying to get along in life. Fast forward to the present, and he's trying his best to atone for his past mistakes. Several times in the book, he's reminded of his old tricks and habits and thinks about how easy it would be to run a play on someone or swipe a few bucks from them. Being a con man turned out to be vital to the story though, as it's more or less what he does within the consulting group. His mentor Henry Davies, who runs the company, has a series of rules on how to manipulate or influence someone if they need it, and they're all very similar to the rules a con man would rely upon. Ford is remorseful, but willing to take action if it means doing the right thing. He's dynamic, entertaining, and very engaging. A solid start to a writing career. While some suspension of disbelief is needed, the story came off as somewhat grounded to me, thanks in part to the book listing specific cities and locations around Northern Virginia and DC. These are places that I've lived and grew up around, and that's always fun to read about. While some of the conspiratorial angles of the book seem like they were cranked up to 11, it's not so bad that it detracts from the story. Then there's the matter of Ford's boss. He's smart, cunning, and uses his gifts and connections to help those around him, as long as it also helps him in the long run. Davies is a planner, always checking things out 10 times before making a move. He has experience working for former presidents and knows most of DC. So, if he's really so well connected, how could Ford ever hope to stand up to him? One of the book's strongest strengths is in the pacing. While the book starts slowly, introducing characters and concepts patiently, the pacing really cranks up when the thrills kick in. Things change hands and plot twists hit so hard that you have no choice but to hold on. The backstabbing ramps up so much that you won't be sure what twist is coming next. It's so good that you'll be as desperate for Ford to find someone to trust as he is. While the book doesn't have the full realism of a Grisham novel, it is still realistic enough that you might start wondering who you can trust in your own life. Overall, The 500 is a page-turner, well worth the read. The characters are fun, the pacing is great, and while the plot is simple, it's executed very well. I really do wish I could go into more detail. Unfortunately, I'm afraid of risking spoilers if I do that, so you'll have to trust me, this one's good. Give it a read if you like thrillers or fast-paced books with likable heroes. So, have you read the book? What did you think? If not, do you want to read it now? Whatever your thoughts, comment below and stay tuned for more.